Welcome. My name is Thomas and I'm here to share in this video the Form 8862. It's been a while since I did this form. I get people who've watched the form who needed help filling it out, who had questions concerning the form and the purpose of the form. And so I'm doing an update to give you the latest information on this form, and has evolved and changed over the years due to the fact that we have different credits and things that's been added to make this form what it is. So I had a recent question that asked me about filing a tax return, and they get a letter saying that the Form 8862 needs to be filled. In that situation, normally on your tax file, it's going to have the Form 8862 need to be submitted. And when you submit a tax return that doesn't have the Form 8862 in it, it normally rejects and tells us why it rejected. And then we add the 8862 form with it, fill it out properly, and resubmit it. It get accepted, then they go process it. So that's how it normally goes. So if you got a tax return done that didn't reject, asking you for 8862, and you got a letter later asking for additional information, and you never submitted that information, then they changed the tax return and made an adjustment to it where now you owe money because they took away the credits that you initially were given based on whoever prepared the tax return. And so that's the common reason that you will get a letter after the fact, is that once they process the tax return, the two most common things that happen is we get people who get a tax refund up front, and then on the back end they get a letter later asking for additional information. And if you don't send in that additional information, then you get another letter asking for the refund money back with principal and interest. And then we got the second group of people who get a letter up front asking for additional information first. Once you send that information in, they request, they approve it, then they release your check. So those are the two most common ways people get refunds, and this form is associated with that. So we're not going to deal with if this form is going to be done by software or not. It doesn't matter. We're going to go through how this form should be filled out, regardless if it's done manually or by software. That way you don't have to guess how you want to look. It's going to look the way it's supposed to look, regardless of who filling it out, software or you doing it manually. So of course the person going to have their name, social, they're going to have EIC, and they're going to have child tax credit, additional child tax credit for people who got children that's under 19. These are the two most common ones. This here is the American Opportunity Credit. This is for people that have college students on their tax return. So if you got somebody that's in school, then this one here should be checked as well. If not, it won't be. Then here, these two questions ask if the only reason your EIC was reduced or disallowed was because you incorrectly reported your earned income or investment income. This one will be no, because we did nothing wrong intentionally. So it's no. Could you or your spouse file a joint return be claimed as a qualifying child on another taxpayer for the year? That should be no. And here, if you got two kids, the names of both kids go here. Child one name here, child two name here. The days they stayed with you here. The date of birth here and here filled out. The next section is filing without any qualifying child dependents. So for a person who don't have any kids at all, but they have kids on the tax return, then we skip this section. That doesn't apply. Then we go to this section, child tax credit, non-refundable and refundable credit. And so if you got two kids, the names here. And here it says for each child listed in response to the question 12, did the child live with you for more than half the year? That's going to be child 1, yes. Child 2, yes. That's how that should look. It says for each child listed in response to question 12, did the child meet requirements to be a qualifying child for the child tax credit or refundable child tax credit? That's going to be yes for 1 and 2. Then it says for each person claimed on a tax return, on the tax return, as a qualifying child of or other dependent, and so, and this here situation is going to be blank because you're not going to have all three situations happening, regardless of how many kids on there. You just won't, for the most part. So these two, line 16 says for each person claimed as a qualifying child or other dependent for the child tax credit or refundable child tax credit or additional child tax credit or other dependent credit, is that person your dependent? Okay, yes for one, yes for two. So yes, you fill all these three out. 17 says for each person claimed as a qualifying child or other dependent for the child tax credit, refundable child tax credit, additional child tax credit, or other dependent credit, is that person a citizen, national, or resident? That's yes for both children. And so these are the things we have to check off based on reading the questions. Then the next section is American Opportunity Credit. So if we have nobody that's in college, then we skip this altogether. This here says qualifying child of more than one person. We skip this as well. We go down here to qualifying child of more than one person continues. We skip that. So basically, that's how you fill out this form if you're doing it manually. And if it's done through software, it's still going to be filled out the same way, regardless of how it's being done. It's going to be filled out the same way. And so when it comes to my coaching clients who looking to start their own tax preparation business, they learn basic income tax preparation skills and knowledge first. They learn professional software skills and knowledge secondly. They learn basic marketing strategies to help them go out and get their own clients. And they learn how to fully operate a tax preparation service from the front end to the back end. And that way, when they're ready to go to the next level, they are already equipped to do so. So I'll be doing more tutorial style, training style videos, going over the different forms and schedules that I've done in the past. It's time to go over those forms and schedules again because a lot of things have changed since then. And I'll see you in my next video.